Dr. Wells, we're going to head back over to you. Could you speak a little bit about our clinical clerkship curriculum and then also our U.S. partners? The clerkship portion of the curriculum is divided sort of in two sections, what would typically be the third year and what would typically be the fourth. So the third year is 48 weeks in duration, and there are 6 required rotations. So students take 12 weeks of internal medicine, 12 weeks of surgery. They take 6 weeks of OBGYN, 6 weeks of family medicine, 6 weeks of pediatrics, and 6 weeks of psychiatry. Not necessarily in that order. They could take it in multiple orders. So it's almost like Lego blocks. You can move your Lego blocks around, but you have 6 Lego blocks that have to run the span of 48 weeks. So each of those clerkships has an NBME style exam, well, the NBME shelf exam, which helps students study for step 1 as well as step 2. So that's the third year curriculum. The fourth year curriculum has 2 required rotations. So there's 4 weeks of emergency medicine or urgent care, 4 weeks of a sub-I. Sub-I means a sub-internship where the student is acting as the resident. So they're sort of running things. That's what a sub-I is. And then 19 weeks of electives. The electives are really cool because I would tell you that electives are worth their weight in gold. And I say that because they're the time where you get to tailor the curriculum for what you want to do. So some students will choose to have additional electives of the specialty they want to match into. Some will say, I really want to be, I've talked about pediatricians tonight, so I really want to be a general pediatrician, but I want to have a good understanding of what happens to my patients when I send them to surgery. So I'm going to do an elective in pediatric surgery, which is something I might not have an opportunity to see a lot of once I hit residency. Or students could say, so I have this every year. I have students coming to me and they say, Dr. Wales, I emerged from my mother's womb knowing I was destined to be a surgeon. And I say, okay, great. And they may have the credentials to sail right through that. Or it might be a student who you're not sure that they're going to match into surgery. So what you could do is you could get them, I call them audition rotations, in like community-based programs where they could actually go do a rotation, do an elective in a surgery at a community-based program. And if they do a great job, which I think most of our students, or all of our students will, then they are more likely to be invited back for a residency interview. So I think electives are worth their weight in gold. You could use them for a variety of reasons, all in service of what you want. Then I think the next question was, what about affiliation? So currently we have affiliation agreements signed with St. Anthony Hospital, which is in Chicago, Illinois. We also just signed one with Doctors Hospital in Nassau, in the Bahamas. There is another one in the works. It's like this close to being signed. It's actually on my desk to sign right now for a California hospital system. And we are working on some others as we go. Do they have to do electives at our hospitals that we're only affiliated with? No, you don't. So fourth year electives can happen, I'm going to say, anywhere around the world. What you do is we have an elective catalog. So some electives that we've already established that you're welcome to select from, or you can propose new electives. And so there's a form to fill out to propose new electives. I think they end up coming through you and your team, Danielle, to get approval. They come through student affairs to get approval. We look at that. Now, I don't want anyone to think you can go anywhere you want and do whatever you want, because you have to actually meet some educational requirements, right? So it's not just like, hey, I'm going to go to Bermuda. Can I get credit for that? If you're going to Bermuda for tropical medicine, yes, you could, right? But we have to have some educational objectives. We need to make sure that the faculty there are good, that you're going to a safe place. But so you can do electives, whatever you can imagine. It's probably what we kind of cap. There's many reasons why students will choose certain electives. Some students want to return back home. Some students want to build a footprint in a certain region. So let's say if they were all their life, they lived in Florida, but they're like, I actually want to do residency in California. Some students will utilize their fourth year to engage in electives in California to kind of build that footprint, build those connections.
So as Dr. Wells mentioned, that would happen through the Office of Student Affairs and the Clinical Sciences Department to help you plan out your fourth year in the middle of your third year so that you're ready to go.